Maayong gabi. Welcome to the Cebu Lady Lawyers Association's Partners-in-Law. Magkuyog na pudta sa usa ka oras nga mahinungdanong diskurso sa balaod ug mga importanteng issues sa katilingban. Ako si Attorney Genevieve Cabradilla. Espesyal ang atong gabi karon kay ubanan ta sa atong mga higala gikan sa Human Settlements Adjudication Commission Region 7. Karong gabi nagipadala sa ato ang Director 2 OIC of the HSAC Regional Adjudication Branch 7, Attorney Joe Vinson Empasis ang iyang mga kauban sa opisina atong ilailahon karong gabi from the Housing and Homicide Regulation Office, Legal Division, Mr. Juven Naraha. We also have this evening the Legal Assistant 2 from the Office of the Chief Regional Adjudicator, Ms. Golda Lavinia Aristas, and of course, from our Legal Division as well, Mr. William Dibdib. Good evening kanatong tanan.
Good evening, Attorney.
Nalipay kaayo mi karon nga inyong manggiubanan ug daghan kaayong salamat sa inyong pagsanong sa among imbitasyon. It is really our privilege and honor to have you here. Kumusta man ta?
Good evening, Attorney, and good evening to our televiewers. We are very thankful that we are invited here in your program this evening to present or to introduce our office.
Good evening, Attorney. Good evening sa atong mga televiewers ug sa akong kauban sa office. Salamat sa pag-invite namo aron sa ingon naning pagiha. Among mapaila ang among office ug ang functions ni nganong ni ani nga among office.
Good evening, Attorney Jen. Good evening sa tanan nato mga televiewers. Nagpasalamat mig dako nga inyong giimbitar sa inyong programa karon na Partners-in-Law para atong hisgutan ang tanan ng mga butang na may kalambigitan sa Human Settlements Adjudication Commission. Kay nasayod man kita ang kining HSAC is relatively new. So karong gabi na ato kining hisgutan kung unsa kining tanang mga butang na may kalambigitan sa atong opisina HSAC.
I agree. Nindot gyud ni nga oportunidad and chance nato nga mapaila-ila sa atong mga higala, dili lamang sa atong mga televiewers but even sa ato ang mga kapwa Pilipino, no, kay sa inyo nang giingon bag-o ning opisina ha. If I'm not mistaken, this was reconstituted by law on 2019. Ma'am, no?
Yes, that's right, Attorney.
Yes. And so siguro atong sugdan sa pagpaila unsa man di ay ni ang HSAC or Human Settlements Adjudication Commission.
Ang Human Settlements Adjudication Commission, to give you a little history or background, was reconstituted from the then Housing and Land Use Regulatory Board or HLURB by virtue of Republic Act 11201 in 2019. That was February 14 to be exact, no? So Valentine's Day na, hindi na ito malimtan. Ang Human Settlements Adjudication Commission usa ka quasi-judicial agency. So gitahasan siya sa pag-adjudicate sa mga disputes pertaining to real estate developments, no, o mga homeowners association cases.
Does that mean, Sir Juven, nga ang HLURB dili na mudawat o mga kaso o reklamo kabahin sa real estate development?
Atong klarohon nga gi-reconstitute na ang HLURB to HSAC, no, so wala na ang HLURB. So ang adjudicatory power sa kanhi nga HLURB is now with the Human Settlements Adjudication Commission. So tanan ng mga kaso nga git-file sa mga buyers against developers or homeowners association case or members, no, ari na sa atong botan sa Human Settlements Adjudication Commission.
Thank you for the clarification, Mr. Juven. So wala na ang opisina sa HLURB mga higala, but karon naa na ang HSAC. Ang akong pangutana, since ang HLURB nga mga functions in terms of adjudication gibalhin sa HSAC, what about the other functions of the previous office, like let's say management or regulation sa atong mga real estate development? Asa naman na silang opisinaha, sir?
So I'd like to clarify, Attorney, no, that the HSAC is relatively new to the public's eye, but
Okay.
In reality, it was reconstituted from the HLURB, and what was retained by the HSAC was only the adjudicatory function of the HLURB. Meanwhile, the other functions of the HLURB, particularly regulatory function, was transferred to a new department, which was also created by the same law, RA number 11201, the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development. So it is clear that between HSAC and the HSUD, we are a separate office. So adjudicatory function is with the HSAC and the regulatory function is with the department.
Thank you very much, Miss Golda. So, klaro na kaayo, no, atong mga higala nga di na taangay maglibog between HSAC and the HSUD. So, in fact, there was an instance also when we invited as well the HSUD. So, klaro hun sa, gi-explain na ni Ma'am Golda nga regulatory powers are with the HSUD. So, thank you so much, Miss Golda. No? Klaro na kaayo sa atong mga higala. HSAC is a separate entity from the HSUD. Asa di atong opisina, Miss Golda?
Our new office is located at 11th floor MDCT building, Leyte Loop, Cebu Business Park, Cebu City. So our previous office was in Club Ultima Tower 2, but this year, last January, we transferred to a new office in Cebu Business Park.
Thank you so much. So, pwede ra nato duulon ang opisina sa HSAC dito sa Cebu Business Park. Do you also have a telephone number, ma'am, or Facebook page or website?
So the public can connect with us through our phone number 0960-852-2125, or they may send us an email through our email ad that is rab7@hsac.gov.ph. Again, that's RAB number 7@hsac.gov.ph. Or they may visit our website. That's www.hsac.gov.ph.
Thank you, Miss Golda. Ready kayo, no? Si Miss Golda. Sa itong mga higala, I hope you're able to take note of their website and at the same time their email address and contact number. Now, nga kahibaw na ta kung unsa ang opisina sa HSAC. Pwede ba, you mentioned earlier about you have adjudicatory powers if there are disputes between real estate or kaning mga real estate nato, homeowners association. Can we explain kung unsa man di ay nga mga disputes?
Sir William?
Ang usa sa mga function sa HSAC or Human Settlements Adjudication Commission mao ang pag-adjudicate sa mga cases nga isgutan na sa mga kauban, no? So usa nini ang kaso nga i-file sa subdivision or condominium unit buyers against the developer of the subdivision or condominium, or ang mga disputes gitawag nato og intra-association disputes o inter-association disputes.
Okay.
Kining intra-association disputes naglangkob kini sa mga problema nga gi-file sa membro sa usa ka homeowners association nga rehistrado sa Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development or previously sa HLURB o sa katong mga so no. So ang tawag ni ang kanang mga kaso nga gitawag og real estate management cases, kung usa ka mamalitay og real property sa usa ka subdivision or condominium project, dire mo file sa among office og kaso batok sa developer or sa seller, broker, salesperson, so ingon ana, no? So dire kami dunay exclusive original jurisdiction sa mga kaso ingon ana. Same thing with the homeowners association. So mao na siya no mga intra-association controversies.
Di ba, Sir William, if naay agent nga mamaligya o let's say condominium property, required sa balaod nga naa na sila'y license to sell, right? I mean, the agent himself or herself, dapat na siya lisensya, sakto ba ko? Unsa man ang requirement para ikaw usip buyer is kabalo ka kung angay ba nina kung saligan nga ahinte nga namaligya or tinuod ba ni siya nga na-represent, kay pwede man nga uso kayo ron sa Facebook nga kunuhay seller ka, di ba? Sayon ra kaayo. So unsa man para kahibaw ang atong mga higala kung unsa ilang pangitaon.
So kanang mga sales agents of real property dapat lisensyado na sila sa Professional Regulation Commission.
Okay.
And then dapat magpa-accredit sana sila sa Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development kung model sila og mga subdivision nga mga real properties, mga condominiums nga gi-registered sa Department of Human Settlement and Urban Development. So dili sila pwede nga kanang mag-deal og mga properties nga gi-regulate sa Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development kung wala sila accreditation from that office.
So if ever sir nga mobaligya ang isa ka tawo nga nagrepresentar nga ahinti siya where in fact wala di ay say license, for example di siya accredited, sa inyo bang opisina mo dangop ang atong mga higala or didto sa DHSUD?
Actually kung doon na sila tawag ni mga representations nga naka lingla sa atong mga buying public, nagportray sila nga naa sila ana nga license or accreditation, but in reality wala. So pwede na filean og kaso sa buyer. Of course i-implead nila ang ilahang seller sab kay nagrepresent man lang na sila og sa ilang principal. Kung agent man gud sila, doon na pa sila broker. O niya ang broker nagrepresent sana sila sa mga developer, seller. So ngana na no. So naa sila mga legal responsibility. Nakita na to, appeal na to sa kanang Real Estate Service Act siguro. Ngana.
And yes, Ma'am Golda.
I'd like to add, attorney, that if in those cases where a unlicensed real estate agent will sell condominium projects or subdivision projects or units, they may go to the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development, since the DHSUD can impose fines or they can impose sanctions for lawfully selling those units, since the DSUD has regulatory and monitoring function over them.
Thank you for adding inputs as well sa gi-explain ni Mr. William ganina. Sir William, thank you so much as well.
Sige.
And mangutana sad ko di ay Miss Golda, kana agong mga example na i-project nga itukod pero after, so nag-start na, gibaligya na sa mga agents na yung mga buyer. And then, katong promised nga date, let's say, turnover date, aghapon natukod ang property, let's say, balay sa isa ka subdivision or condominium unit sa isa ka condominium project. Unsa man ang mga legal remedies or course of action sa atong mga buyers, sa atong mga buying public, yes.
So in case of non-development of the project or unit within the promised period or within the approved plans, the buyer may actually claim or demand for refund of their
sa amount ka
payments.
nabayad.
Yes.
Pwede ba mga og damages, mo demand og damages ang buyer?
Yes, they may also do so, but they must visit the law, that's PD 957 or RA 96652 or the Maseda law for that
Okay.
matter.
So, pwede gyud di ay nga dili na lang or maningil magpangayog refund ang buyer, for example. Pwede pud ba nga let's say di na lang siya magpadayon og bayad and full, yes, we have the Maseda law for that matter, but pwede ra gyud ay siya naara gyud siya recourse.
Yes, since the developer has not completed the development of the project or the unit within the period, the buyer in installment may desist from further paying.
Thank you so much for answering that question, Ms. Golda. Pero na ako'y last nga question in relation to that topic. Na ba tay prescriptive period kung kanus pwede i-file na nga kaso, or let's say kung pwede man mo file sa og kaso against the developer, right? Kay wala niya na develop or wala niya na complete ang promise nga project. Sa inyong opisina na pwede i-file sa HSAC, yes?
Yes, yes, attorney.
Na ba tay prescriptive period nga within how many years lang siya from the time, let's say ang promise is 2022 of January, I started paying 2018, until when ko pwede mo kiha against the development company?
I think Sir Jovan wants to answer.
Base sa atong rules na walay gibutang prescriptive period in which to file the claims for refund or damages no o specific performance aside from refunds. So not only refund, you can also file a case for specific performance to compel the developer to continue with the project no as advertised, because there are cases na kanang gi-file sa buyer no nga kanang wala nituman ng developer as advertised. So nato ba na i-file sa atong opisina.
Very well said, no? Sa atong mga televiewers, dili ta angay mag-uol kay wala man di ay specific prescriptive period, but again, I think it will relate to the
Civil
yes
code
to the civil
provisions.
code
Correct,
because na ay specific performance and even the damages. Thank you kaayo sa pagtubag-an nga pangutana. And so far sa atong opisina, daghan ba ta og mga kaso nga giatubang nga nagdeal og ingon ana nga problema?
In sa among office, there are actually two types of cases: real estate management and homeowners association cases. So a bulk of our cases filed before us constitute the RAM cases, the real estate management. So last year, this is a total of like 64% of the total number of cases. So these REM cases include refund, cancellation of contract, nullification of cancellation of contract and forfeiture of payments under RA 6652, and specific performance. So homeowners association cases, like election cases, nullification of board resolutions, this constitute like 35% of the cases filed. That's last year.
It's last year. So that's a huge number. And daghan pa ta og isgutan anang mga gi-mention ni Miss Golda about real estate management cases and even homeowners association cases. And yet taas pa ta og oras pwede pa natong hisgutan na nga mga topics when we come back after our short break. Welcome back to the Cebu Lady Lawyers Association's Partners in Law. Kauban gihapon nato ang atong mga higala gikan sa Human Settlements Adjudication Commission, Region 7. Ganina nahisgutan nato ang mga duha ka klase nga kaso nga ilang gidawat sa opisina sa HSAC or HSAC. One is real estate management case, and number two, involving homeowners and homeowners associations. Na-mention ganina ni Mr. William Dibdib nga naay gitawag natong intra and inter-association dispute. So, appeal pud na sa ilang opisina. Karon gusto nato mahibaw-an kung unsa man di ay ning mga kaso kaning real estate management cases ang gi-entertain or gidawat sa HSAC. Ma'am Golda?
So like I've said earlier, no, these REM or real estate management cases include claims for refund,
Okay.
nullification of cancellation of contract, and forfeiture of payments under the Masada law, and specific performance. So these are the cases na kanang involving developers. So whereas ang kaning HOA cases or homeowners association cases, examples of these are election contests or nullification of board resolutions promulgated by the homeowners association. So I think Sir William can expound on this case.
Okay. So, for REM or REM, real estate management cases, ma'am, di ba, if example, ang usa ka buyer sa isa ka prospective development project, let's just say condominium project, wa nila na deliver or wa nila na complete ang project, so mangayo sila o let's say refund sa ilang gibayad and at the same time damages. Kanus aman di ita makaingon nga pwede na ta mo file og kaso against the real estate developer kay wala niya na complete so and so ang project. When do we say that the project is not yet complete? And when can we make a first step of filing a complaint or case against the real estate developer?
Doon ay mga advertisement no na ginahimo ang developer before baligya ang property. So bound sila sa ilahang gi-advertise to finish the project within the timeline as stated in the advertisement. Kunya kung dili nila ma-follow na, so pwede maka-file og kaso for refund or kining specific performance ang buyer.
When a buyer wants to buy a property, let's say a condominium unit or a subdivision property, unsay kinahanglan nga pangitaon sa usa ka buyer kung mopalit siya, sir?
License to sell.
License to sell.
Oo.
So, in the license to sell, ibutang dira kung unsay mga information nga naa sa license to sell, nganong kinahanglan man nga naa na siya inigpalit.
Usa sa mga specific details nga indicated in license to sell, no, kining kung kanus mahuman ng properties, ang development.
Okay.
I think that can be expounded by Sir William sa mga specific details sir, sa license to sell, considering doon na siya expertise gida ng kuan
Okay.
ng kuan ka ng matter ba.
Oo. Ang license to sell usa sa information man gud nga nakabutang niya na mao nga kanus-an niya humanon ang project. So mao na siya ang unsay location sa project,
Okay.
project name. So kay ang mga developers daghan man na siya mga projects.
That's right.
So pwede usa ka developer nagkuan siya nag-develop og several subdivision
Okay.
projects.
So,
or condominium.
didto makita, sir, kung
Yes.
asa ang location kay it could be, and it is also crucial kay what if ang girepresent nga ibaligya, let's say naa sa lawaan unya ang license to sell di ay although from the same developer pero sa lain nga project. So
Yes.
very good, no,
Yes.
mga sa pag-specify ana. And you also mentioned nga naa didto ang completion date sa project.
Yes.
So if dili na ma-develop ang project or dili nimo makita as a buyer ang project on that specified date sa gibutang sa license to sell, and that means pwede na siya mukiha. So complain. Yes, sir.
Akong klaro ko na attorney dyan, no? So doon ay tulo ka buok mga pwedeng hinungdan, no, nga kanusa ka maka-file og kaso, no? Number one, kung gi-state sa contract nga dapat ihumno ng development yani nga timeline niya wala na human, or gi-indicate ba ron sa advertisement na material nga gi-reproduce sa developer nga inani nga timeline niya wala gyapon human, wala na kompleto, or kanang time nga gi-indicate sa license to sell.
Okay. Thank you so much for that clarification on that matter. And that's just the real estate management case. What about our homeowners association ng mga disputes? Unsa man nga mga klase ng mga kaso? You mentioned about election protest or contest sa election proceedings, mga ingon ana. So when does HSAC come in?
Basically, HSAC comes in as a last resort. Kay under the rules or under the law for that matter, kay the homeowners or the homeowners association or the members must observe or must exhaust administrative remedies. So before going to HSAC, they have to go to their grievance committee or their election committee.
Pero what if, Miss Golda, there is no grievance committee? Because as if I'm not mistaken, sa bylaws nalay mga standard, no, nga kanang kung unsa ang gibutang sa template nga bylaws, maura pod ang sundo. Not all homeowners association do craft their own election committee or grievance committee.
So for that matter, they may go directly to HSAC. They may file a case before HSAC, but they have to include in their complaint an affidavit stating that there is no grievance committee or election committee within their association.
Okay. So kinsa man ang submit ana nga mga affidavit? Ang homeowner nga ni contest?
Yes.
Okay. So that's affidavit, and unsa pa to? Wala a copy stating
that there is no grievance committee or election committee in their association.
So if that's the case, kay while pending pa ang complaint, does that mean nga ang de facto or ang currently the officers in the homeowners association will remain to be in position, or vacant ang office sa association?
During the pendency of the case, unless the office has already decided on the merits of the case, the present officers shall be exercising the duties and functions as officers. However, they may not do such functions that will go against the merits of the case. But the complainants in that dispute may file for a provisional remedy before our office, like injunction or TRO or CTO.
Daghan ba nga mga kaso pending sa iyo? You said around 34 to 35% of the cases. Can we put a number to that percentage around in 1 year lang siguro? Or how long does your office resolve such cases, like say election contest?
For election contests, the adjudication period is actually within 30 days from the case is deemed submitted for decision or resolution. So the election case is deemed submitted for decision or resolution after the filing of an answer by the respondent. That's for election case only. So it's 30 days.
Okay.
However, within that 30 days, the adjudicator may request for clarificatory hearing or may request for additional pieces of evidence from the parties.
Okay, thank you. So ang importante lang yun, no, since we have this so-called when is a case deemed submitted, importante nga kumpleto ang mga pieces of evidence, like atong affidavit nga giingon stating that there is really no election committee or grievance committee in the association. So that's important because that the administrative exhaustion of remedies already?
Yes, attorney. But
okay.
we'd also like to add that particularly in election cases, the complainants must observe the prescriptive period of filing.
Oh,
Yes. So for example, in election, the complainant must file within 20 days from the supposed election.
That's
After the lapse of that period, that's already prescribed.
Dili na pwede maka-file og kaso. Thank you for highlighting. Importante ang prescriptive period kay if ni-prescribe na ang action, then wala na tay kaso. Dili na pwede maka-reklamo. So that means if ni-prescribe na, the election conducted is deemed valid.
Yes.
There is no more any other remedy to contest that election. Mag-wait na lang nga mahuman ang term anak nga mga office. So, interesting. But I think, Ma'am Golda, since you mentioned about this affidavit, nga importante when you file a case, I think we have to go back to the real estate management case. Kay, syempre, karon especially, nibalik na ang development projects let's just say sa Cebu. So, daghan tag mga properties, nga pamaligya, daghan po ang mga buyers nga gusto mo invest o mo palit og mga units. So, can you tell us what are the requirements in filing a case? For example, ako sa ka-buyer nga wala na develop ang project as promised na gusto ko mukiha against the real estate developer.
So before going into the requirements, first we'd like to inform the public of the proper filing process first. Kay usually man good ang madawat sa office na mga queries or ang madawat ng mga complaint is a regular letter complaint. But if they only file a letter complaint, not a verified complaint, then we can take on that matter.
Okay.
So the proper filing process is the complainant must file a formal or verified complaint. So this does not mean that you have to consult your lawyer, although we encourage that you have to consult your lawyer to be guided.
Yes.
But if optional if represented ka by counsel, because our office has a complaint form which they may easily access or download from our website, the www.hsac.gov.ph. So they may download a copy of actually there are two forms. One complaint form number 1 for REM cases and complaint form number 2 for HOA cases. So with these forms, they are actually already guided kaya na dito unsa nga violation, unsa ilang prayer or demands from the developer or sa HOA, and unsa ang dito ang verification part of the complaint.
Okay.
And I'd like to kanang stress out na the complaint must be verified and notarized for it to be
Considered.
Yes.
Verified complaint. So, klaro kaayo from Ms. Golda. And I really admire that your office made an initiative making these forms already downloadable in your website. So, just visit the website of HSAC.
Or they may visit our office to obtain a copy.
And do you have, murag, let's say, murasad siya og mga officer of the day na maka-assist?
Yes, we have. That's a new initiative in our office that we have an officer of the day, and I'd like to add, no, aside from filing, the filing of the complaint may only be completed upon the payment of the filing fees.
Which is?
So the filing fees, they may the public may access our fees calculator. This is found in our website. So the fees calculator is already complete. Kaya na dito if imuhang i-file ba kay verified complaint or for injunction lang or other transactions like certification or certified true copies of the case documents. So na dito if naa kay prayer for provisional remedies, na dito appeal na dito sa fees calculator, so ma-appeal na siya og compute. And if na kay other claims like monetary claims for refund, damages, attorney's fees or other litigation expenses or costs, ma-appeal na dito og compute sa among fees calculator.
Certificate against forum shopping, sir.
Sir? Certificate?
You will also have to add the certificate of non-forum shopping.
Okay.
It is a must. That
And it is also part of the complaint form.
Okay. Well, very detailed explanation kung unsa ang paagi o unsaon nato pagsugod ang pag-file og kaso either involving homeowners associations or against real estate developers. So, ato pagyudang tiktokion later og hisgutan after we take another short break. Welcome back to the Cebu Lady Lawyers Association, Partners in Law. Daghan na tag nahisgutan sa atong topic. Usa na ang unsa nga mga kaso ang involving real estate management and also homeowners association. Gihisgutan pud nato unsa ang proseso sa pag-file sa kaso. That's when we learned as well nga available ra di ay o downloadable ang mga forms when you file a complaint in any of those cases, no, homeowners and real estate management. Karon maghisguta og daghan pa. Hibaw-an nato unsa ang mga initiatives, programs, and activities sa atong Human Settlement Adjudication Commission in Region 7. So, maghisguta sa atong mga initiatives, ato sang hisgutan, sa mga programa karon sa atong opisina.
As for the programs of our office, since we're actually just starting, so we're strengthening the agency's execution powers. So an initiative is that we coordinate with the PNP or the sheriffs of the regional trial courts to guide our sheriffs, to guide our personnel in execution of judgment. So another is case declogging project for other regional adjudication branches with a lot of delayed cases in order to dispose cases in record time. So another is case management system, since records management system. So we aim to digitize our case dockets and records for it to be accessible, easily accessible, especially during the pandemic when we have to work remotely.
Yes, that's
Since
correct.
case dockets are like a hard copy, so
Tama.
these are confidential and public records, so we cannot just bring them at home. So we have to digitize these case dockets and records. So and our most important initiative or program for this year and the coming years is the information or public awareness campaign. So since this is a new office to the public's eye, we have to we are very much thankful for this opportunity right now that we can share anything about our office, since this is a great reach to the public. So another initiative is we tap in with the local government units. We request them for at least like 15 to 20 minutes during their flag raising ceremony to give an infomercial or video of the jurisdiction of HSAC, the mandate, the external services of our office, and how the public can connect with us. So we are just in the planning stage of this initiative, but we hope that this year we could
Execute and
Yes,
implement
yes.
these initiatives. But so these are in place this year lang, ma'am, na kompleto ang plano ani nga mga programs and activities nato.
Yes, because we just halfway completing the staffing of our office.
Well, it is our pleasure also, ma'am, no, nga ni sanong gyud mo sa imbitasyon sa CELIA or Cebu Lady Lawyers Association nga mo ari dinhi o kuyugan ni karong gabi una sa partners-in-law. Mangutana ko about digitizing no sa inyong case dockets. Do you accept e-filing right now or dili pa? Wala pa tay e-filing, ma'am.
There are specific motions that they can file through email, but we'd like to ask for them for hard copies. But their date of filing would be the date of mailing.
Okay.
So yeah, under the new rules pod, we can actually serve some motions and orders through email with the consent. Actually, during the mandatory conference, it is included in the mandatory conference na they manifest that they could be served with notices through email. Although ang actual practice namo kay mag-advance copy ni sa email, but we still send out the hard copies of the orders through a private courier or registered mail or personal service.
Okay. But if ever, ma'am, since you're also open to being invited, no, in local government units, how about in homeowners associations? If ever you will be invited, usually what do you talk about if ever, or when can homeowners association invite you in the community?
Actually, I think that for that matter, the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development can do that
Okay.
since they have monitoring or regulatory function over them.
Alright.
Kay we, as a quasi-judicial agency man god, we try to as much as possible not give legal opinion or advice. Kay, especially for matters which may be a subject matter of a future litigation, that mo preclude na ang kay kami pa ang mo design, kami
Tama.
pa mo hatag og
That's correct.
advice.
So, if ever, we already mentioned about election cases, no? For example, no, as a case which HSAC can have jurisdiction over. How about any other cases involving homeowners associations?
Cases involving homeowners association, usually ang ginafile sa mga opisina, no? Doon ay kining wala ginafollow ang bylaws sa pagkandak sa election o kining mga non-payment of association or monthly dues.
So, how about kanang mga involving membership and dismembership? Pwede ba? Or disqualification as a member sa usa ka homeowners association? Pwede po ba?
Yes, pwede po na i-file sa itong opisina, no? In fact, doon na gani mga kaso na mga ingon ana nga kining nangingon sila nga dili sila qualified nga mo run sa association kay dili sila member in good standing considering wala sila klaro nga nagpa-member o nya wala ni bayad sa association dues. So doon ay mga kaso nga ipa-nullify ang election considering ang mga na-elect during the election are not qualified to be officers of the association.
I think that's really a big deal because daghan baya og mga real estate develop or communities, mga subdivision, communities, and even condominium, and they also have their associations, right? And daghan sad ni nga mga kaso, I must say, nga giatubang sa atong opisina.
Tinuod na, no? Daghan dyan ang mga kaso nga related to homeowners association. In fact, before kanang decide ng kaso, no, any homeowners association will undergo sa now mandatory conference.
Okay.
Within 5 days from receipt of the answer, we will issue an order notifying the parties for a conduct of the mandatory conference considering under our rules doon na tayo ginatawag og kanang mediation proceeding which is mandatory. So taga na to ang parties og kining avenue to talk to their regarding their dispute, and the mediator will help the parties to facilitate and to pacify them possibly, no, kay doon na may mga parties yung tugod sa mga opisina nga grabe kay kainit ang ulo. So muna ang duty sa mediator is to give them an avenue to talk about their case and to find an option to reach an agreement that is mutually acceptable and beneficial to the parties. So mas maayo man pud gud na nga ang parties na mismo maoy mo decide how the
Yes.
case will go about.
I agree. And with that, Sir Juven, mangutana ko, if naabay option ang parties mo ay mo designate og mediator or ang atong opisina ang mo designate og mediator?
Doon na yung mga mediator nga i-designate gid ang opisina for a particular case.
That
So,
is to ensure nga walay bias or influence
yeah.
siguro, no?
However, if the parties will kining file a motion or will request that another mediator must be designated for the purpose, considering ingon batang dili maka-mediate ang mediator kanang without bias, no? So pwede pod nga mo papili og magpili og bag-o nga mediator ang atuang regional adjudicator for that purpose.
But it's still within the same office, of course.
Yes,
Dili
that is
pwede
correct.
nga sila ang mo provide.
But if that in case they already have a mediator niya, naka-compromise na sila dito outside HSAC, then they may directly file to us a compromise agreement or a joint motion to dismiss. Then we can issue a judgment based on compromise agreement.
Pertaining to kanang motion for judgment based on compromise agreement, so anything that as long as it is not contrary to law, morals, good customs, public order, public policy may be stipulated by the
Considered.
parties, and then we will just issue an order that the case is deemed dismissed based on compromise agreement.
Very clear explanation from Sir Juven. And I think another challenge that I am seeing, no, is since HSAC has those adjudicatory powers, how about in the matter of execution, the judgment? Unsa ang paagi sa atong opisina?
It's the
Ani, sir?
challenge, no? I think it can be better answered by Sir William. That's a
Sige,
huge
Sir
challenge.
William.
So, challenge, mga hagit nga itong sinati, patubang during sa execution stage. So, since doon na yung mga decisions, orders, dapat i-execute or i-comply ang atong tawgon nga losing party. Ang mga challenges nga atong among na encounter kay, of course, kung money judgment nangita at first mo demand isa ta og voluntary compliance from the losing party, no? Mao gani first nato nga baton. So I prepare a notice of demand to comply the rate of execution. So kay ang kanimang rate of execution is issued by the adjudicator addressed to me as sheriff, and then I have to execute that rate of execution. Now, kung dili voluntarily mo comply si judgment obligor or si losing party, shall say, that's the time na mo resort na sadta sa mga murag may pagka compulsory mode. Like garnishment of bank accounts, for example. Levy of personal or real properties. Ano yung mga ano. So, na yung dili sa ingon nga naagyoy mga incidents or mga sitwasyon wherein ang losing party nga developer wala nagyoy madaw-daw ba nga property kunya unan pa nga di nagyud makita. So mao na yung mga hagit nga akong giatubang as sheriff sa Human Settlements Adjudication Commission. Na ay mayo mo tago Ayaw mo tago sa ilahang properties. Yun na, no? So, like in a regular court sheriff, maura sa na akong gipang functions. So, mao na nga usahay mo seek ko og expert advice from the court sheriff on how to go about those things. And sometimes kung doon ay mga cases nga medyo tensionado like specific performance nya doon ay mga tagani strong opposition from the affected stakeholders or kinsa ba na sila, doon ay mahigayon nga mo resort ko og police assistance. So mapasalamaton sad ko kay sa mga higayon nga ning duol ko sa atong Philippine National Police for assistance, wa sila magdumili sa paghatag sa ilahang police assistance.
I think that's why it's very important that you strengthen your relationship and partnership with these agencies, such as especially the law enforcement, because really the bulk of the job also is really on the execution.
Yes.
No? And so dako kayo bugat kayo nga trabaho. So it's really good that you're also receiving the assistance that you need, especially from the law enforcement and even from court sheriff.
Yes.
No, it's very healthy to establish relationship as well, because I understand nga we all acknowledge that the office is new.
Yes.
So we're also trying to learn how they are doing it, like especially in courts, because sa atong mga televiewers ang HSAC mura ra pud ni siya og korte because they have adjudicatory powers. It's just that it's a quasi-judicial agency. So why quasi? Because it's an executive branch of the government but performing judicial functions. Sakto ba ko?
That is correct.
Yes, di ba? So, I think very challenging. Dako kaayo ang challenge nga gihatag sa opisina sa HSAC, ang klase sa mga trabaho nga gibuhat ninyo. And it is a matter involving public interest because this involves our people, our buying public nga ipalit ani nga mga properties, let's say, no, kaning sa real estate management nga kaso ninyo. Dagko siya. And then what's interesting kay from mura gud siya og na siya life stage or cycle sa life sa buyer, from the moment nga prospective buyer pa siya, so naa inyong opisina ang kaso until such time that say nga nakapuyo na siya sa iyang project nga gipalit, naapod tay gitawag homeowners association nga mga problema. So any other you would like to share, any other challenges nga giatubang nato sa atong opisina, sir?
Sa pagkakaroon, no, ang atong opisina diligid kay ingon nga kanang daghan og kanang mga personnel ba, considering na relatively new pa siya. Doon na patay dagang mga positions nga unfilled pa. But those positions may be filled up by the president only. So probably next administration na, considering na dili na pwede maka-appoint ang atong current president, no. Unya kini nga kung ma-fill up pa na tanan nga mga adjudicator positions, because adjudicator positions may mga bakante na to karon, mas masayon pa ang atong trabaho, mapaspas pa gyud.
It's nice.
There are actually 4 adjudicators, but
Okay.
currently we only have 1. And our adjudicator is handling 3 regions. He is the OIC Chief Regional Adjudicator of Regional Adjudication Branch 7. And he is also a special adjudicator of Region 6 and Region 4A.
And the reason nga special adjudicator po siya ato ng mga branches because they don't have
Yes.
their own regional adjudicator.
Yes. Or for specific cases lang, like like I said, katong project na mo, case declogging project for other regional adjudication branches.
That's really good. So in your declogging projects, Ma'am Golda, you are also collaborating with other government agencies.
No, we're just disposing or deciding
Okay.
cases of other RABs or regional adjudication branches. For example, we have cases from region 4A. So like actually every month we are given more or less 10 cases from other.
Wow.
On top of our kanang own cases pa sa Region 7.
That's a lot. Mura grabe. So I cannot imagine giunsa na pag-deal sa inyong opisina. But of course, we really hope that you are given the help that you need because I
Yes.
believe you really do.
Yeah, so we
And-
are capacitating our personnel.
Mhm. Well, good job to our office. And daghan pa kayo ta gusto nga mahibaw-an about sa inyong opisina, and I believe daghan pa tag mga issues nga nindot unta hisgutan. But probably that only means we can still invite you in the future for another episode of Partners in Law. But for the meantime, I would like to ask you, the three of you, if you can give any last message to our televiewers. It's been I would say that your office really serves our public, our citizenry. As I've said, this is the cases that you handle involve public interest, and there are huge challenges that lie ahead of you, but you are doing your own initiatives like capacitating your personnel and your office. So very good that you're doing that, and I'm pretty sure that daghan pa ng mga televiewers nato ang mudangop sa inyong opisina. So good luck on that. But before we go, any last message that you would like to give?
I'd like to reiterate that the public may connect with us through our phone number 0960-852-2125, or they may email us at rab7@hsac.gov.ph, or that's RAB number 7@hsac.gov.ph, or they may visit our website www.hsac.gov.ph for other information and announcements regarding HSAC and the important forms, the complaint forms, and a copy of the 2021 HSAC Rules of Procedure. And I'd like to thank the Partners in Law and the Cebu Lady Lawyers Association Inc. for this opportunity, and we would very much welcome another opportunity to return with a more comprehensive discussion in the near future.
Thank you so much, Miss Golda. They are reaching out to all of us, letting us know that their office is open to help us in our needs. Any other message from Sir William?
So, mo to no? Mapasalamaton ni nga naimbitahan mi dinhi sa inyong TV station para aning kuan kay usa sa among gi pangindahay nga makahimo mi og information drive about sa among office aron sa ingon na pagiha ang among office maduol ngadto sa katawhan nga nanginahanglan ini. So once again, salamat sa CCTV.
Thank you, Sir William. And of course, Sir Juven.
Since gi-explain naman sa ako ang mga duha kauban, no? I would like to thank the CCTN, the Partners in Law and Celia, for inviting us here to talk about matters pertaining to HSAC. And we will be very glad to have another episode to talk about our office again. Thank you.
Well, again, thank you so much. Magpasalamat sad me on behalf of the Cebu Lady Lawyers Association, Partners in Law, for your prompt reply and especially for accepting our invitation and gracing our episode this evening. Once again, dear friends, we have from the HSAC, or Human Settlements Adjudication Commission, the director to OIC. We would like to thank Attorney Joe Vinson Empases, and especially our guests this evening, Miss Golda and Sir William Dibdib and Sir Juven Naraha. And to all our televiewers, thank you so much for joining us in every episode of Partners in Law. We would like to thank as well the staff of CCTN, and especially Tatay Dodong Limchua. And we would like to invite you all to follow our YouTube account. It is Celia, CELLA dash Partners in Law. You can see more episodes, and we have talked many laws, issues, and we have invited many guests from different government agencies para makahibaluta kung unsa ang mga serbisyo nga gihatag ni aning mga opisinaha. And we are also looking forward to seeing you again in the future for our next episode here only in Cebu Lady Lawyers Association, Partners in Law. Once again, I am Attorney Genevieve Cabradilla. Maayong gabi.